Hey, what's going on, everyone? Back at it again with another video. And this time I have a Batman Day special. And I'm going to be counting down the top 10 animated Batman movies. Now, I did do a top 5 animated Superman movies, but I couldn't think of 10 good animated Superman movies. But with Batman, yeah, I could think of 10 good ones. So, anyway, first and foremost, this is my opinion. So, if you disagree, you could make your own goddamn list. And second off, let's just have fun with it. So, yeah, let's just get started. All right, number 10 is Batman Assault on Arkham. Now, it's already been confirmed that this isn't part of the Arkham series, the series of Batman games, which kind of sucks cuz I really do like this movie. Um, it's basically honestly this came out I like to say 2 years before Suicide Squad, and this was a better version of Suicide Squad, to be honest. I mean, you have basically almost the entire squad. I like how they handled Joker here. And I like the animation for this too. Like the animation was really good in this. And also, Kevin Conroy voices Batman, and honestly, this is probably his last really good voice of Batman. Like I'm talking like if you were to look at like all the animated Batman movies, the ones that weren't that good that came out after this, like yeah, I this is the last good animated Batman movie that Kevin Conroy voiced Batman in. So, I mean, hey, for that, it's a huge plus. But yeah, I had fun with this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, though, mind you. But, when I did see it, though, I really enjoyed it. Um, it's not one I constantly go back to, but I think a rewatch is in order for this because I just remember liking it, and yeah, honestly, like having that mindset that this is like a better version of Suicide Squad. Because at that time we didn't even have the Suicide Squad movie. It was just the 2016 one that fucking sucked. But yeah, this was really good. I remember liking this a lot. So yeah, it's gotta recommend this. All right, number 9 is the Lego Batman movie. Now, there's probably gonna be some people that may disagree with its placement, but I'm sorry, I can't change my opinion. I still love the movie. I think it's great. I think honestly it pays tribute to everything Batman. Like, there's references to Batman things that you wouldn't even think they would reference. But yeah, they reference it, and it's great. I mean, it's more lighthearted, obviously. It's, a Lego Batman movie. And I mean, the way Batman acted in the, I mean, Lego Batman in the Lego movie, the way he acted, he kind of acted like a prick. But, like, if you watch this movie, you kind of understand that. And, there's a lot of funny moments in the movie. Like when, he meets Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson says, that his name's Richard, but like his friends call him Dick, and Batman's like, "Oh, children could be cruel," or what, or something like that. Like that always cracked me up. yeah, I mean, they do sprinkle some adult humor in there, but like, you know, it is still a movie for the family. Like, you know, you sit down with your family and you watch it. You know, more. I don't want to say lighthearted because, like I said, there's some adult jokes, but like also it appeals to like the Batman fans. You know, like with all the references and stuff. Um, you know, and yeah, well, what's his name? I like to say Will Arnett. Yeah, Will Arnett. You know, he does good as Batman, and fuck, I forgot who voiced Joker, but he did a good job too. Like, you know, the Batman and Joker stuff was great in this movie. You know, I mean, there's a lot of great things that happen in this movie. You get, you know, all the Batman villains in Lego. I mean, that's cool. Billy D. Williams voices Two-Face, which is really cool because, you know, he was supposed to actually play Two-Face in the Batman movies in the 90s. So, you know, it's cool that they let him voice Two-Face. But yeah, other than that, yeah, you know, I think again this movie's great. You know, it has a lot of fans. You know, that's why I don't want people arguing with me. Oh, well, you should have put it higher. I mean, look, it's a great movie. You know, great movie theater experience, but you know, it's not going any higher. You know, but I do enjoy it. So yeah. All right, number 8 is Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. Now, I love this movie. You know, now we're getting down to the movies where I just love these movies. Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero is a continuation of the Mr. Freeze saga in Batman the Animated Series. So, you know, you had the iconic episode Heart of Ice, then you had Deep Freeze, and then this movie just continues all that. But yeah, this is great. I mean, you know, I think Mr. Freeze is the best villain in Batman the Animated Series. I mean, he's very sympathetic and, you know, he just wants to save his wife. You know, but anyway, this movie's not that long. I mean, that's probably my main issue with it is this really could have just been like maybe a 2-part episode of Batman the Animated Series. Like, this really didn't need to be a movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, that doesn't make it any less good. I mean, I still, you know, again, I love this movie. I think it's a great story, but honestly, it could have just been an episode of the show. But, you know, it's still great. Another thing, though, that kind of holds it back, though, from, you know, being almost at top is some of the CGI they use. I mean, you know, I get it. CGI was kind of just starting to be a thing, you know. But, you know, some of the CGI, like particularly with the Batwing, like, dude, like that looked awful. But yeah, but anyway, this was just a great story. You know, I'm not gonna give away the ending, but the ending was great. Um, you know, and it's always great to see Mr. Freeze, you know, in Batman the Animated Series because he's, again, like I said, most sympathetic villain in that series. So yeah, it's always great to see Mr. Freeze and, you know, Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, of course. I mean, you know, it's Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, it's great stuff. Highly recommend this one. Okay, number 7 is Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because I already did a top 5 animated Superman movies list, and this movie was actually number 4 on that list. But pretty much the same stuff I said when I talked about it on that list is I thought the Batman Superman dynamic was great. I love the fact that Tim Daly, who voiced Superman in Superman the Animated Series, comes back to voice him here. And of course, Kevin Conroy voicing Batman. I mean, you know, legends. I mean, what more can I say when they are together voicing these characters? It's amazing. But yeah, it's just great. Lex Luthor becoming president, that whole thing was great. The whole robotic suit that Lex Luthor has, or not Lex Luthor, but like when that kid builds the Batman Superman robotic suit, I love that shit, man. Like I love that as a kid. But yeah, this one's great. Like I said in my other video I did on it. Um, just go watch that. But yeah, Superman Batman Public Enemies is a classic, definitely. Okay, number 6 is Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Now, when this first came out, I'm not gonna lie, I was not really looking forward to watching it because I was like, it's just a bullshit Elseworld kind of story, and I'm not ever really a fan of those. Like, I didn't like Batman Ninja, like when they changed like something like Superman Red Sun, like I didn't really like that one either. But then I watched Gotham by Gaslight, and I was like, I really do like this story. I don't have the original comic of it, but I'm definitely gonna pick it up at some point. I know the endings are kind of different, of who the Ripper is, which is crazy. But I'm not gonna give away who the Ripper is. But yeah, it's just, this is a great Elseworld. If I don't particularly love Elseworld stories, but if you're gonna do one like this. I love like each character, like who they're supposed to be. Like, you get Harvey Dent, you get Commissioner Gordon, you get, they're all like different characters from like the 1800s, and yeah, and they do like the Robins, like one kid's named Dick, one's named Jason. I mean, that was pretty cool. And yeah, it's just a really cool Elseworld story about Jack the Ripper and what was going on at that time. But yeah, if you read the comic and you know who it is at the end of the comic of who the Ripper is, and then you watch this movie again, it's not going to be the same person, which is very interesting. Like because after I saw the animated movie, I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to look up some stuff about the comic. Then I found out it's a different guy at the end. So I'm like, oh, man, that's crazy. So yeah, just, going into it, if you read the comic, the Ripper's not going to be the same, which is very interesting. But yeah, I'm not going to give it away. You just have to check out this movie. It's, and this is coming from a guy that doesn't particularly like Elseworlds, but I like this one. This was great. So yeah. Okay, number 5 is Batman versus Dracula. The Batman versus Dracula, I should say. So yeah, this is an animated movie based off the Batman cartoon series, which very underrated cartoon series in my opinion. I think it's the second best Batman cartoon, besides Batman the Animated Series, of course. But yeah, very underrated Batman cartoon. It's getting some love now, which is, really great to see. But anyway, this animated movie was great. I remember watching it as a kid, loving it. I love the story of it. I'm also a horror movie fan, so yeah, having Dracula in there, having Batman fight Dracula has always been a great idea. Um, and I love how Dracula looks like Nosferatu. I mean, I just think that's great. Like I love obviously like Dracula's great, but I like it when like they make Dracula kind of look like an actual vampire. And what I mean by that is like, if you look at Bela Lugosi or frickin' I guess Christopher Lee too. Like, obviously they don't completely look like a vampire. But no, this Dracula, like he's going back to Nosferatu. I mean, that's just great. I loved watching Batman face off against Dracula. It was great. And also Joker becoming a vampire like that. That was great. Like I already love this version of Joker. So like seeing him become a vampire was just it was amazing. It was great stuff. I also like the Penguin's involvement with the story. Him being like a servant to Dracula. I thought that was great. So yeah, there's a lot to love with this movie. I mean, this was just great, and you wouldn't expect it from a series like the Batman to even do that, but like they did it, and it was great. If you're a fan of horror movies, Dracula or whatever, you gotta watch this. I mean, this was great. So yeah. All right, number 4 is Batman Max of the Phantasm. All right, here comes all the hate comments saying, why is Batman Max of the Phantasm only at number 4? Well, because this is my fucking list. But no, I do, Batman Max of the Phantasm is great. Yeah, it's an awesome animated Batman movie. I love it. I love how they do like the flashbacks of how, Bruce Wayne decided to be Batman, and how he got like his heart broken, and all that stuff was great. I love, the Phantasm coming in. Like it's a great Batman storyline. I'm not going to give away who the Phantasm is. Because even though this is like, honestly, fuck, 35? No, 30 years. Or 32 years? I don't know. Well, I mean, Batman, the animated series, is 30 years old, so I don't. Even though it came out, that long ago, I'm not gonna spoil what happens in it. You just gotta see it. Even though some of the merchandise did like spoil some of it. Like I have a vintage action figure that pretty much spoiled who the Phantasm was. But yeah, no, this movie's great. This is one you just have to see. Also Joker, Mark Hamill as Joker. That's always great. He shows up. Honestly, Joker didn't really need to be in the movie, but it's always great to see Mark Hamill as Joker, so I can't really complain. But yeah, also Kevin Conroy's Batman. This is probably his best performance as Batman. Like, as far as like getting like in deep of the character, yeah, this is probably his best performance. But yeah, there's a lot to love in this movie. My favorite moment is when Batman like when when Bruce Wayne in the flashback, when he first puts on the bat suit and he puts the max on, and Alfred's reaction is just wow. But yeah, that's my favorite moment. But yeah, Batman Max of the Phantasm, obviously, yeah, it's a great movie. You know, just because it's at number 4 doesn't mean I love it any less. It's still a great movie. So yeah. Okay, number 3 is Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. So yeah, I fucking love this movie. Oh my god, this movie's awesome. So Batman Beyond. Obviously, I love the Batman Beyond cartoon. It's great. It's a futuristic Batman. It's awesome. But this movie's probably my favorite thing from that series. I mean, you get Mark Hamill back as Joker, which is always great. And to see Joker in this like futuristic, Batman universe, I mean, it's awesome. There's obviously a gang called the Jokers, and then Joker comes in and you know kind of runs the group. And Bruce Wayne's reaction to seeing the Joker after all these years, and like, oh my god. Also the flashbacks with you get the Batman the Animated Series designs, like you get particularly the season 4 designs, but like they make Joker's design look less bad than his season 4 design. They kind of just like the design that they have him for Justice League. They use that one, which is great. But yeah, the flashback was great. You know, yeah, this movie's awesome. Seeing Terry McGinnis, fight the original Joker. Well, technically, yeah, I'm not. See, that's the thing. Like, if I were to talk about this movie, I'd probably be giving too much stuff away. It's just a movie you have to see. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, this movie's great. I mean, it's obviously great. It's on, it's really high up on my list. But, yeah, I love this movie. I mean, it's awesome. So yeah. All right, number 2 is Batman Under the Red Hood. Okay, now this and my number 1 pick, it was very hard. But yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood is just gonna sit at number 2. I love this movie. It's awesome. This is probably, well, I'll just say it, it's my second favorite Batman story. Particularly Death in the Family. Like that. Jason Todd's probably my favorite Robin too. Like, and like to see like him go out like that, oh my god. But yeah, you get that flashback. Then obviously the Red Hood. I don't think it's a spoiler at this point to say Jason Todd's the Red Hood. So yeah, the Red Hood comes, you get Joker, and Batman fighting the Red Hood. You get Nightwing in there. I mean, it's great stuff. I love how they sprinkle some flashbacks in where Jason Todd was Robin. That was great. Bruce Greenwood as Batman, he does a really great job. I think he voices Batman in something else too. I can't, like, I don't remember what it is, but I think he does voice Batman in like a couple animated Batman movies. I'm not sure which ones, but yeah, he's a great voice for Batman. And then John DiMaggio voices Joker, which he does a great job. For those of you who don't know, he voices Bender from Futurama, and Jake the dog from Adventure Time. So yeah, he's great as Joker. Um, but yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood is awesome. I love it. Black Max, oh my god, Black Max was cool. I mean, I know there's not many versions of Black Max, but this is probably my favorite version of Black Max that we got. Um, but yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood is a classic. I remember when I first got the DVD, watched it, loved it ever since. So yeah, really great. But my number one is Batman The Dark Knight Returns. Yes, this is my favorite animated Batman movie. For those of you who are going to be like, oh, which one? Part one or part two? The whole goddamn thing. Batman Beyond the Dark Knight. What the fuck was that? No, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition DVD, which I have, and it's great. There was really no reason to divide the movies, make one part one and one part two. Dude, you could have just did that. You could have just did this in the first place. Make it one big movie, and like the runtime on this, like, yeah, it's long, but like honestly, like I didn't feel the runtime. Honestly, it's probably about the same length as a Christopher Nolan Batman movie. Like, I really didn't feel the runtime that much. So there was no reason why they couldn't, just release it as one thing at first. But no, they did part one, and then the next year they did part two, and then the year after that they did the deluxe edition. Like, no, there was no reason to keep us waiting. Like, but anyway, with that rant out of the way, Batman Dark Knight Returns. I love the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel. That's my favorite Batman story. So yeah, obviously I love the Dark Knight Returns animated movie. I mean, this was great. A lot of great moments that were in the graphic novel are here, where Batman fights the mutants, where he fights Superman, where he comes out of retirement. The stuff with Joker. It's just great. I highly recommend this. Again, didn't feel the runtime. Also, Peter Weller, the guy who plays RoboCop, he voices Batman in this, and he does a great job. He's my second favorite voice for Batman, besides Kevin Conroy, of course. But yeah, Peter Weller just did a fantastic job voicing Batman. You can tell he's like an old, beaten down Batman just by hearing his voice. So, that's just great. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this movie. It was hard though to pick between this and Under the Red Hood, but this one, I have to go with this one. It's my favorite Batman story, and I just remember having a really good time watching this movie. So yeah, and I remember being psyched getting the deluxe edition DVD. So yeah, it was great. But yeah, that's my number one. But anyway, that was my top 10 animated Batman movies. And again, my list. So if you don't agree, then fuck ya.